Yo, what's up, everyone? Good to see everybody in these YouTube streets, especially, on this unexpected time. I know it's probably different for anyone who's watching this right now or watching in a different country, but it's good to see you guys too. And of course, I have a lovely and awesome guest with me too. You've probably seen her in the chat, just like chilling and just talking with you guys, being an awesome moderator, my dear friend and awesome human being. Should I say your name or just say your spirit hand? So I don't want to, put your information out there. Feel free to
Oh,
introduce yourself.
well, okay. Well, I just put your spirit's hand on here because that's where you could find me on Instagram and on my YouTube channel that I'm gonna start. Yeah, but it makes me
Okay.
feel like that's good. Yeah, we'll just do that. But I think
Oh,
most
that's
of them
cool.
know
That's
my
cool.
name. Yeah, my name's Cecily. I think most of you because some of you where I'm always in his as much as I can, like supporting him, and then you'll like he said, you'll catch me in there commenting and stuff. So yeah.
Right.
Getting an awesome reading from him or something. Yeah.
Yep. Or just talking about when it comes to different topics that we're watching or talking about, pop the balloon and all that stuff. She says some awesome stuff here too. So again, it's really good to have you as a guest because I'm looking forward to just really, connecting with you and doing some collaborations too. And I'm not sure it's the last time I did a collaboration on my channel. It's been a minute. Oh my gosh. It's probably been like a few years so far. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I used to do it on a regular, but it's just like I've been focused on this, ever since like the pandemic has kind of like died down a lot, it's kind of like people
Mhm.
are going out more. So I kind of got into that, just going out and about, just do my daily thing, going to the gym, coming back home, taking care of family, doing my business stuff and all that. And it's really interesting. But it's really good to have you here too, Cecily, aka your spirit's hand. I can't believe I messed it up.
No, you're good.
But
That's okay. Yeah,
yeah,
but
I
no.
know that it's probably like, hey, did you just mess it up? I was like, come on, man. You probably looking at me like this.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
So it's like, hey, yo, what is going on here? So, oh my goodness.
No,
But
you're
anyway,
good. You're good.
all
Yeah,
right.
no,
Cool.
like back to what you said about like after the pandemic and like people are now out doing stuff more rather than being inside. Like yeah. And
Right.
it's also good just to be, I guess it's like normal where you get to just go to the gym and do what you got to do, or if someone has to work or something, just like in mundane life, it's like that's what I feel like we all want is security and like a routine. I know some people like to be like, "Oh, I'm a free spirit," that you go do your thing, but like I think we all just want like comfort in life and some sort of like stability and things like that. So just like that's fun, like you said, just going to the gym or me going to work, stuff like that. It's just fun. I like it.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense too. And if you want to talk about that too, when it comes to with stability, because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. I know
Oh
you
yeah.
probably know this too, not just in your personal life, but also in general as well. It's just like, man, it feels like the world is getting crazier and crazier every day. So I don't
Let's
know.
talk about it. Talk about it. Let's spit a little something about it. Let's get into
Yeah,
it.
okay. And we got
Go
a
ahead.
awesome person, Viviani. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Yes,
Hi.
indeed. Yes, she's an awesome person too, Viviani. If I'm saying your name right too, because I always, when it comes to names, I try to get it right. I don't want to butcher it, anything else. So it's good to see you. And of course, you're probably like, oh my gosh, he's early, doing the early stream. It's like usually I do it at night because it's like, I like to do like the adult theme kind of like podcast, but oh, I'm saying it
Yeah.
correctly? Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
That's on me. That's on me, everybody that's gonna see this while we're doing it so early, because I have others. I had to fit. We fit it into the time we could fit it in, and I'm also a mother, and so and luckily Jay's such a a good friend. He's like considerate of that, so that's why we're doing it earlier. But I love when he does it like later on, because there's times like, well, I look forward to it, like after going to work or like whatever. You can just chill, and then Jay's gonna be on, so that's cool. But
Oh
today
yeah,
we're doing it earlier just because he's accommodating my life about around my work and motherhood and things.
today. So yes, just let it be known. She means business too. So like Cecily doesn't play around, but she's a sweetheart. So I'll just put in two categories with that. She's a sweetheart and don't want to be messed with. So she's solid.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So yeah, just getting back to the topic we were talking about, it's just like stability. It's just a lot of crazy stuff happening, especially like and when it comes to with relationships and even like with friendships and family and even just trying to connect with people too. It's just I don't know. Do you feel like people are getting weirder nowadays? If you want to just mention that, it's I don't know what it is. It's just every time I go to the gym, and that's just like pick up on it and just like analyzing people and just my environment. It's just like sometimes like I see people just doing their regular thing, but like when I'm on social media, it's just like the total opposite. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's just people doing the most craziest stuff, going viral for clout, and I don't know, it's just crazy. Or is it just me? Feel free to chime in to anyone who's talking about it.
No, I think it's true. It's true. A lot of people are out here doing some wild stuff. And I feel like it all comes down to like the need and the want for something because like a lot of people have issues or a lot of people need money, a lot of people need attention and love and things, so they're going to do whatever they can to like fill that void or, accommodate their needs. But people out here, they're really they're we this is like a big mixing pot of people these days. And I also feel like people are like so heavily influenced by each other these days where it's like wishy-washy, like depending on they take social media so seriously that it's like their whole being is like based on who they follow or something like that. So like if one minute they see this, then they're this. If one minute they say that, then they're that, and they can't understand that they can be like themselves. That you know what I mean? So I don't know if they're trying to find themselves and they're doing all kind of crazy stuff on the way or what it is, but people are definitely changing. The children are different, the environment is different, and everybody their mindset is just different.
Yeah, that's true. It's just everything is different too. Even like I was hanging out with my family the other day, and it's just wow, this is I know, I've probably just me getting older. It's just like, oh man, I'm aging. I'm not trying to say like, I am an old man, but I don't act like an old man. And it's just like, yeah, it's just a lot of I mean, not say like crazy stuff, but just like things like changing too. And especially, daylight savings was the other days. So it's like spring is all about new beginnings and just really, blossoming and just opportunities and all that too, if I'm saying that correctly. And it's really important to really just like really find that for yourself and especially with that sense of community because like even like with stuff like in certain communities that like I'm passionate about, I'm just gonna use myself for example. There's a lot of communities that are being shut down and it's just really sad to see that. They can't just
Mhm.
certain people can't just come together for just like a really good cause. They just want to just say, like, oh, you're whining about this, when it comes to like a certain game or when it comes to something else, like when it comes to talking about relationships. And it's just, I know it's kind of sad and kind of at the same time, it's just like, it really just wants me to really just create a space for people to really just have those kind of conversations for a good cause. And even if it's just like for laughter or for just like for healing or for just like all the above, basically. That's
Yeah.
kind of like I had this kind of like vision. I'd say like a vision, but kind of like yeah, I say like a dream. I'm not going Martin Luther King style here too. It's just like no, seriously, I just had a vision
Yeah.
of a dream. It's just like bri- creating us kind of like bridges, if that makes sense, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like how can you just like not only bring people together but also support them in ways that they can really just be rewarded, if they get their businesses going, they got like a following, and even just like with that too, so that's been like a passion of mine, even just working on my website, the Literal Heroes community is just like, oh, I could let people could create a free profile, they could create a group if they're a content creator, entertainer. It's really cool stuff. Even like I just discovered when it comes to just posting my own videos on there, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know I could post my own videos. I don't have to worry about much of YouTube. But I still love
Mhm.
YouTube because it's like a sense of community where I can just connect with people and to really just if you want to talk about certain things and just like laughter or healing or educating ourselves or all the above, So
Mhm.
it's really cool. And especially, when it comes to you with YouTube, it's a really cool place to people to really just not only to create a community, but also to really just connect with your entrepreneurship too, and just like building a channel that you're passionate about. If you're an entertainer, if you're an educator, or if you're both, that's really cool. I've seen people just like talking about the most craziest stuff when it comes to with entertainment, gaming, relationships, spirituality, especially, and it's really cool. And for you, Cecily, and we talked about this before. If you feel comfortable talking about this, it's just like, what made you just like when it comes to you want to just build your channel for those who are just listening when it comes to with spirituality, and just sharing that with your ancestry, with your passions and everything else if you wanted to share. So I'll give you the mic, cut your promo basically. So
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, I've gone through a lot of different changes when it comes to spirituality and religion and digging into ancestry, and it's almost like if you ask yourself like what makes the clock tick or what makes a yellow flower yellow. With some
Mhm.
of us, we want to get more into like why are we the way that we are, or certain things will start showing up without you asking when it comes to spirituality, and you start realizing that we're on not just this physical realm, like this physical level, but a different level of spirituality. And we all have a destiny, we all have a purpose, and we meet who we meet for a reason. And every single thing that we go through is necessary to get us to a certain point that we're supposed to get to. So I started realizing that like really early on, as a child. And anyways, I brought up Catholic, um, which I love. I still love, and I don't know if that's because I'm so used to it. Um, I'm not a practicing Catholic now. I still love it. I know all the stuff. I can go, you know what I mean? But finding out more about little things when it comes to our history, our African history and ancestry, native history. And you really start, like I said, realizing why does the clock tick? You start realizing why you do things or certain things. So, aside from that, the reason why I'm starting this channel, Your Spirit's Hand, is just to share with others different tips and historical things along with like spiritual books. So on my channel, I plan on doing like spiritual book reviews and sharing different things like conjure oils or different things like hoodoo, and explaining things that our ancestors or other people weren't able to vocalize and share. Because
Mm.
coming from different ethnic backgrounds, some of us had more of a voice than others. Coming from an African background, we all know what happened there, with the slave trade or the diaspora. We didn't have a voice, so we passed down certain things through tradition, and a lot of things weren't passed down. Things were erased, things were taken and reshapen, and we do things like collard greens and black eyed peas on New Year's Eve and things like that. And some of us do these things and we don't even know why. And it traces back to our ancestry. And so
Mhm.
basically, with this channel that I'm starting, it's going to allow me to express myself spiritually. I love books, so it's going to allow me to share my passion for books and spirituality. It's going to allow me to, it's like, it's like when you learn to read and write, which is something I love to do. It really clicks and you're able to express yourself. So this is going to be a platform for me to express and just put out all the information that I've learned, so that hopefully somebody else that's going through the things that I went through or learning or eager to learn certain things, I can just be another tool or another hand to help them with what they're doing. And yeah, eventually I'll offer products because I do know how to make certain products, and I will get those out there. But for now, I'm going to focus on the knowledge side, with our history and, like I said, books and things like that. So, but then but aside from that, we'll do fun things with you like this. I mean, I love when you do the pop the balloon and we can all get in there. We
Yeah.
we all a lot of us have different aspects to ourselves. Like I said, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I'm also this super spiritual woman. I go to work. Uh, I'm into like, synth and like gothic stuff. I like to, you know what I mean? So There's so many different like levels and layers to who I am, and I just want people to know that you could be like true to yourself and be all these things in one. You don't have to play and pretend to be one and not the other. Like love every layer of yourself and put it together. And so if on this channel I can offer some help, I want to do it.
That's cool. And that's beautiful that you want to just grow your channel like that too, because even like with me with this channel, and just really like I had this channel since 2007. I was just working at Pachanga at a young age of just like 19, I believe too. I was like 18 or 19. I was probably like one of the youngest employees on there too, just because I was in the VIP program for special needs for people to look for work. So my mom helped me out with that too. And I was like, oh, okay, I got a cool gig at Pachanga, and I made some cool money here and there. It was just like I just created my channel on YouTube just because I like to watch videos. I'm like a video connoisseur. I just watch something that educate me or entertain me or both. So it's kind of like with that. And then like when the pandemic happened in 2020, I was like, oh, I just met some awesome people who are into like with oracle cards and with tarot and spirituality stuff too. All the, what you gonna call it? It's I know the word, I just can't describe it too.
Are you talking about when people say new age?
The occult, basically.
The
People
occult?
call it the occult. Yeah. So like they're into oracle cards or tarot cards and magic and spirituality, yoga, you name it, plant medicine, or even just like with my entertainment stuff too, when it comes to nerdy topics like with gaming and with comic books and DC Comics, Marvel, Dragon Ball Z, you name it. So I'm just gonna mix all that together and just really like kind of like the Eastern philosophy meets the West, like the Western philosophy too. So it's like a really cool blend. And for people like yourself and Viviani and anyone else who's just willing to really just being open to have conversations and really just being part of that sensitive community where it can really just be themselves and not feel like they're being called out or really just being disrespected just because they're a Black woman who loves God or a Black man who loves, anime or whoever, no matter what you look like, if you're Black or white, straight or gay, if you're tall or short, you guys are always welcome here too. So it's kind of like, creating a kind of community, even like outside of YouTube, if you're like you're on my website or if you're just like they got like a platform on their own. I like to support people who are just really doing powerful things in their communities and for the planet too. Because like, especially now, like during these crazy times, gotta like keep the peace, just making sure things are cool, not just saying like we're in some Avengers Justice League stuff too. So it's kind of like, it's like, that's cool, so, but sometimes too, it's like, sometimes like people will just probably like, you want to just cuss them the fuck out and people like probably say this.
Language.
It's like, hey, hold up. Wait a minute. It's just like, but sometimes too, like when it comes to like, just like building communities is really important. And especially like with your stuff too, like you mentioned this to me before, it's really awesome that you want to just really, give that information for people, especially like for Black women or Black men or Black people, or even just anyone in general who really can relate to what you went through and when it comes to with your own spiritual path and being the parent and really just juggling work and just like with everything else, like people can really just relate to that as well. And especially, when it comes to, with women too, because like I even check my audience sometimes, like my demographic, see who's like on my channel. And it's like a lot of women who are subscribed to my channel, which is cool. I mean, some men are too. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I got a really strong female audience. That's cool. So I just checking my analytics and stuff, just, on a Sunday chilling, just, do my thing. And it's just like, oh, that's really interesting. And even just like with the stuff that you're doing, Cecily, it's really powerful because it's like, and I'm just going to say this too, from my experience, there's a lot of crazy shit, just like, Black women being disrespected. I'm really sick of it, honestly. And with me just being a Black man who's raised by a powerful Black woman, like my mother and my aunt and my cousins, and even like with my older sister and, other people too. It's just like, man, I know like since you're a goth, Cecily, and it's probably like sometimes, have you ever looked at certain dudes on YouTube? You probably want to just do this.
And that is a promise.
just give them that kind of arrow, like the Undertaker's like, man, this fool right here. But it's like you just want to keep it to yourself, though, and just because like they just say the most silliest stuff, and just like they do the most silliest stuff online and on YouTube. It's like, really? It's like, man, this is like, can you just like kind of like this?
Shut your bitch ass up.
It's like, come on, man. It's like just like knock it off. Like I know, like with me too. It's like, nah. It's just like because like I like to just uplift people. I don't want to just bring them down for just to share a narrative. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And even like in real life too, it's like I've come to a point where in my younger days, you could really like stir me up. Like I am just like gonna immediately just, if somebody was acting in a way you're talking about, you're gonna bring out the worst in me. But as I got having children and getting older and really maturing, you realize who is worth your attention and time and who's not. So people who are negative, um, people who are really losers because they're mean, I think that's a loser. I think somebody who goes out of their way to hurt somebody else's feelings or form cliques or like mean girl vibes or other guys that put women or men down, I think they're losers, because
Yeah.
they got a personal problem. I feel like they're losers for many reasons. Hurt has put them in the loser seat. People like that are usually damaged, unfortunately. So you get older and you realize like, this person's being a jerk. Like, do I need to tell them, hey, put a sock in it and move on, or do you just ignore them and hope the best for them because these people are sick out here, honey? But when somebody's really aggravating me like that, like I'm at a point now where if I see that you're off and you're gonna act like that, you got a problem, I'm like, hey, keep that over there because I'm gonna stay over here because you're off. And I had to deal with some stuff like that at work. And we've had our business going and I haven't even had to, I just got back into the work force or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I have not dealt with this much drama since high school, and I was
Wow.
in like living my life happy, doing my thing, going to concerts, being a mom, dealing with just in dealing with civilized people that I've almost like forgotten about how it is to deal with these kind of people. So it's had happened to me, and some of us are going to be targeted and used as sort of a tool in a situation to bring somebody who's not the best to light. So sometimes we'll be used, and that's fine. Um,
Hmm.
hey, if I need to get used to bring a jerk to light, go ahead and use me, and I'll be fine. So it happens like that.
Right.
Um, but it's right now like I really have learned to control myself. I mean, nobody's gonna physically put their hands on me, but if you got
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
nasty stuff to say, well, I'll be like, I don't know how much I can say on here, Jay. So,
No, I understand that because
you
like with
know,
the YouTube guidelines,
yeah,
it's really interesting because like I've heard people say the most craziest stuff and they probably been it's like they say the most craziest stuff and I was like, how did they get away with saying that shit? See my language.
yeah,
At the same time, if they say something that's just like goes against the guidelines, it's just probably like they get a strike or they get like anything else. Because like with me, I never got like a strike on my channel. It's just like thank goodness, like YouTube likes me in the ways I can just express myself. But I always
mhm.
gotta like be careful with that too. But if it's on my website, I'll go crazy. I mean, I'll just talk all the craziest shit.
Me
Like
too. You know me. I'll start going
I'll
off.
be going off. I'll be like this, like
You know you don't fucked up, right?
I'll be like, oh, I know you don't fuck up. So
I
it's like,
know.
yo.
Yeah,
But
it's
like,
just
you really made a good point about what you said too. It's just like who's worth your time and who's not, because like that's what I've learned too when it comes to what the stories I share with you. Because like when I shared it with you, you're like, holy crap, like that should be a fucking movie. It's
oh
like
yeah. It's the
it's
stuff
just like
that you
crazy.
told me. Yeah, the stuff that you told me needs to be a ongoing Netflix series. It's just like, and sometimes it happens back to back to back, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
this has to be some kind of this is either a serious lesson or a sick joke, because this
Yeah.
is just no, it it happened. You just can't give your and then overthinking like I used to overthink stuff and be like, oh, well, what did I do in this situation? Or no, and it's not always a what did you do, it's them. Like
Right.
you have to know, like, when you're wrong, okay, you're wrong, but like when you're not wrong, and then you need to be able to tell the difference. I don't have a problem with admitting to being wrong about a
Me
situation or
either.
saying sorry. I'll do it, and I'll happily do it, because once I realize, I feel like a sap. I'll be like, oh man, you know what? I overreacted, or you're right. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like for another person, like I said, the people who go out of their way to try to like ruin your reputation or just hate on you, like let's just say we post this video and someone's like, F y'all, y'all stink, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like, what? Like why did what are you
Like,
trying to do
hold
to
up.
me?
It's
Like what do you
like this. I'll just play a clip like this, like my expressions. Like,
Mad, bro?
it's like, you mad, bro? What's
Yeah.
wrong, man?
Like,
Because like,
what do you want, a hug? Do you need a hug? Like, what do you need? Because
yeah,
that's the type of stuff I'm talking about there. Like, we don't need to waste our energy on that. Like, your comment, it's stuff like that. Just don't waste your energy, and just like, it's like, okay, as long as nobody's physically hurting you. Um,
right.
I just don't. There's like like an old saying, where a southern saying, where you don't turn your back for the devil. Um,
Mm,
which would be like, if you don't look over, like you're not gonna turn your back or look over your shoulder for the, you just wouldn't, you know what I mean? And that's
right,
just a old, some an old southern saying that I've heard growing up. And that even happen in real life. You could be laying in bed and feel like something's behind you, and you know it's no good. I don't even turn around for it. I'm just gonna go to sleep, not gonna even lose sleep, in my own house over some nonsense. So don't let people make you come unglued. It's all a test. It's all a test.
yeah. And like for anyone else who's listening to, like, especially for those who are watching a replay, it's just like, knowing who's what they're not, just really finding that mindfulness kind of like mentality too. And even just like defending yourself in the ways that you're just like protecting yourself too. Because I'm all about self-defense, not just like physically, but also just like spiritually and emotionally too. Because I've been through so many weird situations that it'll probably make your head spin. And like with me too, I've learned some lessons in the past too that I've learned that shaped me to be the man who I am today. And it's just like now, it's just like if someone comes after me, I'll defend myself using memes. So it's kind of like, like playing those clips that you saw too that make you laugh. That's my defense. So it's kind of
Mhm.
like expressing my emotions with that too. But also at the same time, it's just really good to just really have these kind of conversations with you and people who like guests in mine too, or even if I'm a guest on other people's channels too. It's just like having those kind of conversations for people, and especially for anyone who's just like going through a similar situation, to really just express themselves in a more powerful way, so they can really just heal, they can learn, they can laugh, and they can just like, oh, I never thought of that. So it's kind of like they feel like they're appreciated, their voices are heard too. And especially nowadays too, like when it comes to like how certain people interact and just like um connect with each other too. It's crazy, but at the same time it could really just be powerful too. And especially when it comes to with spirituality and how you want to express that kind of spirituality too. Because like with me, I grew up Christian, like going to the church, believing in Jesus, and all that too. But like even like around 2009, I was like, but around the same time Michael Jackson has passed, I was like asking myself, like, you know, maybe I love God, but I'm not like religious. I love, God. I love Jesus, especially. He's a really cool dude, you know,
Mhm.
the goats. And it's just like, I'm more of a hippie than I thought. It's just kind of
Mhm.
like discovering it about myself. And over the years too, like with people who just kind of went on a similar situation, whether they're a man or a woman, black or white, etc. Just like having a space for them to really just be themselves too, and just really, if they feel comfortable on my channel, just sharing their stories or experiences, or even having conversations about different topics. That's pretty much what my legacy to be too. And also
Yeah.
too, if like if they want like advice when it comes to like with shamanism or yoga or plants, essential oils, and all that occultic hippie stuff too, that's totally cool. So Yeah, I'm a very giving person, but even right now, I'm still a giving person, but I have an edge now more than ever. So it's like, oh,
Hmm.
don't mess with me.
Yeah, yeah. Just have those
Yeah,
boundaries. Like you know what you're gonna take. Like I'm not gonna be sitting here, letting somebody pull the wool over my eyes or make myself uncomfortable to make somebody else feel comfortable. Like that's not happening. I'm
right,
not gonna. I'm just
mhm,
gonna say, hey, this isn't comfortable, so I'm not going to. Yeah. But when it
right.
comes to Christianity, like you said, like the same, like the same sort of thing happened, but like for me, it was like realizing that, like, no, like this is not only it. Like I've had other things with me, like protecting me and helping me too. And so if I explore with those things or connect with those different things from my culture, no, I don't feel like I'm going to be punished. And if
Right.
I'm simple minded as just a human being, and obviously we don't have as much knowledge as these divine beings have, but if right now I feel like it's right and I get punished later, then I'll have to get punished later. But right now I'm going to do what feels right. And that's like the thing that I went through. And it was really hard to like get out feeling like bad because you know how they're like heaven or hell, heaven or hell.
Yeah,
And so it took a lot for me of it was like back and forth, and I had to do so much with myself. It was like a fight with myself, spiritual battle with myself to figure this out and to be like I still do love Christ. I still do love God, and researching so many different factors and researching different religions and the different stories and how they are similar and how they're different. And you just get to a certain point. I've always been a nature lover. I'm a tree hugger. And I feel
hey, tree huggers
yeah.
unite.
And
Should
I've
be like
always
tree
yeah,
huggers, all of justice or something, like in the
right.
Justice League.
And I've also just always been so connected with the water, any like different bodies of water, ocean, lakes, things like that. I've been connected with. I just feel welcomed, and like a, it's just not something that I could fight anymore. You know what I mean? Like signs,
Right.
I started realizing the signs and the symbols, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel bad about this. I'm not gonna fight this anymore. And when I did that, I really found myself and felt a lot better, and everything came together, and everything works together for me. So I'm really good on praying. I'm really good with that and setting things up. And like I said, with when we figure out where we come from and we learn about that, it makes everything more clear and more doable. So I've also been with all like I said, nature. Like I've always felt like God or the great creator is in the world around us, is in us through the Holy Spirit, which I believe in that, but also in the air, the elements, the trees, the water, the ground, the land, our people, like our own blood, our ancestors in the water, in the ground. You know what I mean? So
Right, yeah.
it's on such a different spiritual level than we know.
Yeah,
So
that's deep. Yeah.
yeah, so those kind of things like
If we're
when you
at
start
church, I'll be stomping my feet right now. Yeah. No, just to add what you were saying, you especially the topic of heaven and hell and human nature, I wanna talk about that. I've been really meditating about that lately too, because it's like, like with human nature, it's so unpredictable because our capacity for good is as strong as our capacity for evil, and especially how we express that with our body and with our emotions and with our minds,
Mhm.
especially. It's crazy. And it's just like, when it comes to like, with heaven and hell, it's just like, when I was little, I was, afraid to just really go into hell if I did something wrong. But
Mhm.
even just like, as I, got older and when it comes to with human nature and even like the mistakes I did, it's really good for people to, especially on the spiritual path, to really just own up to their mistakes, but also not to really just beat yourself up to it too. It's just like
Right.
redemption is a really
Mhm.
powerful way to really just to evolve, to really just be a better person. And if you, because like it's not, like with we all have choices at the end of the day, and just
Mhm.
like how you really want to heal and to grow and to really just, to just really doing that with your body, with your emotions, with your mind too, especially, and just really, doing your best to really just being your healthiest self, being a healthy human being, just taking care of your body, connecting with plants and elements. I'm like Superman. I love the sun, especially during the spring and summer, kind of
Oh
like in the
yeah.
cusp of it too. That's my thing. I don't know what it is. I just get supercharged and ready to just go to fly the sky basically. So it's like I'm like Kal-El of Krypton, aka Superman, when it comes to the elements. Because like fire is very cleansing, very warm, and very powerful. Water is very expressive. In Taoism too, like Bruce Lee says to formless and shapeless, never free flowing. It's really water is very powerful too, especially
Yeah.
for our ancestry too as well, and even with the element of the earth too, like not just with the dirt, but also with the trees too, and everything else. And it's just like, trees are it give us food, it gives us life, it gives us air, it protects us too if the sun is kind of too intense. So it's like, it's always those kind of balances too when it comes to with the elements. And even just like with spring, especially, like I'm just gonna say this too, like my favorite time, like when it comes to with like spring, summer, fall, and winter is kind of like in the cusp between spring and summer. So I was like in the middle. I was like, I love that because like the weather's clear, the sun is not too hot,
Yeah.
not too
It's
cold.
beautiful.
It's balanced, and I like that. It's like, oh, I wish this was like weather's like this every day, but that kind of like I can't wish for everything, but that's just
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a beautiful time. It's an uplifting time. It feels rejuvenating. I always feel extra feminine during the spring. I love the rain and what's to come after the showers. And I don't know what it is, but springtime makes me feel super feminine, super powerful,
Oh yeah.
super like girl power, and like just super lovely. I want to go back to something you said about having I think you said having just as much control over doing good as doing bad or something you said.
Mhm. Yeah,
And it's
our capacity
yeah,
when
there
it
you
comes
go.
to human nature, because like with
Yeah.
shamanism. Yeah, go ahead.
So my thing is, that made me think about how when Christianity, like it's teaching you love. It's teaching you to unconditional love and to just do the right thing and to forgive and to love. Like that is just like the backbone of life. Like that you read your scripture, you learn that Christianity, it is there for us to cling on to. Like everybody needs that. I feel like we all need someone to look up to. So whatever religion you're doing or whatever you're practicing, you need that guidance. Like we need somebody to teach us and guide us. Because if you don't have, I don't know how people who don't believe in anything, like it's fine. I think what is that, like atheists? Like that's fine if you don't believe in anything. Like you're like, hey, no, this doesn't work. But like I don't know if it was because I was brought up, um, how I was brought up, or just because I'm a really spiritual person. In those times when I was like in between spiritual and religious, when I was in the middle, and you feel like I felt like I was at odds with myself. It's such a lonely place to not have anything in you, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. We need that light, and that it's like something to look forward to. It's just like if you were like, hey, I know that in the next 2 weeks I'm going to Disneyland. You're going to be looking forward to that. That's something to hang on
Yeah.
to. And that's just what I feel like it is in life. Like we need that promise, like we need that idea of redemption, and that everything's going to be okay, and that there are good people, and that we need to be told like, okay, this is why this is wrong and this is right. Like it's like the ultimate parent. It's like you have the best,
Mm.
that's what it is. And so no matter what spiritual belief you're doing, I feel like it's all about that. It's trying to teach you to do right and to, do certain. That's what I wish everybody would kind of understand, because I know like oh, you're doing witchcraft, it's devilment, or you're doing this, or you're spiritual, what are you doing in the church, or why do you have that picture of Jesus Christ behind you but then you have other things on your altar? Why not?
Yeah, I want to
You know
talk
what I
to you
mean?
about that. And for anyone else too who's listening who kind of resonates what Cecily is talking about, because like like when I heard about witchcraft for the first time, I was like, okay, that's cool. Because, I watched Hercules, I watched Xena back in the day, and I watched, all the stuff, and even just now with all the Marvel multiverse stuff with Doctor Strange and Magic, one of Portal's multiverse. It's like it's everywhere now. Magic's in your face. It's mainstream, but like when it comes to with the spiritual aspect of this too, and I've talked about this before on other people's platforms a few years ago. It's just like like why you guys are. It's just like it's crazy how people judge like other people when it comes to their spiritual practices. Because like I don't know much about magic, and Cecily, feel free to educate me. I'm just like totally green when it comes to with that. But
Well, yeah, it's like
go ahead.
we don't want to be hateful towards each other.
Yeah.
Christians who may be watching, Christians, we know, you know that you're not supposed to be hateful towards anybody else. You know that you can't condemn anybody and tell them what's going to happen, and that only pushes them away. And that's not what Christ intended for you to do. So that's just to my Christian brothers and sisters. Now, when it comes to magic, is even the term black magic,
Mhm.
anything that came from if whether with Native Americans or African civilization was just savage, or it was black magic, or it's scary, or they're doing this and that, and they would get the results they wanted with what they were doing.
Mhm.
So that scared the other people, the Caucasian people. That scared them. You fear the unknown. If you see, I mean, if all of a sudden the average person sees this werewolf get up and start walking on its back legs and it's talking like a man, most of us are going to be like, what the hell is that? I'm going to back up. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm going to, you know what I mean? And you're going to
Might
try to
think it's
get
like
rid
a
of it. Yeah.
right,
You're going
right,
to want to get rid of it. Someone's going to get rid of that thing because they don't know what it is.
right,
It's
right.
the same thing. So people think of magic and it's not Harry Potter like that. They think of magic and they think of something scary or bad, or you're worshiping the devil. I don't even think people who do Satanism are doing what you see on TV and in the movies. It's not even like that. You need to get to know these people before you condemn them. And a lot of the same things that they're doing in other cultures are they're praying, they're giving offerings, like your average. So there's just like there's different sections in Christianity, Baptists, whatever. That's the only thing that's coming to my mind right now. We have the Catholics who people are like, you're not Christian because you're doing the. We have so many different things that we do. You're Orthodox Christian, we do different things, and there's a different reason for each thing that they do. And then you translate that over to these other religions or different magical practices. They're also praying. They also want something. When people are praying for health and they're praying for money, or they're praying for protection and things like that, the person who's getting the herbs, the Saint John, they're mixing different herbs, or they're doing salt in the water, or they're doing certain rituals with candles, and they're inscribing. They want the same thing. They want protection. They want love. They want and need money. The things that the Christian needs, the other people need too, and we're just going about it a different way. And the
Mhm.
name that you might call one spirit or one deity is a different name, or it's different for them. You know what I mean? So the hatred goes way, way far back, even before the whole issue happened with people and civilizations being killed here in the Americas and other places. It's way back in the Bible. So I would say before you crack your ass open or you crack your mouth open talking that mess, crack that Bible open and read that
Hey, yo,
before you start condemning
pause. I'm just
people.
kidding.
Okay? That would be
Um,
my first bit of advice, because we want to spread love, and we want to get to the point where we understand each other. And so if I don't agree with what you're doing, I might not like the food on your plate, but I am gonna take the time to say, hey, what is that? Oh, that's what that is, and it's made here and you like it, and I'm gonna take the time to have an understanding and a respect for you. And I might not want to try that, and I might try and not want it ever again, but we need to get to a point where it's like, that's on your plate, you enjoy it. And I'm gonna enjoy what's on my plate, but I'm not gonna knock a pork chop off your plate. You know what I mean? Why is it so hard? Why is it we need to get past the hatred, the ignorance, and the negativity. Let it go. Drop it. Drop it like trash. We don't need it. So when we can start finally coming together and really like
I
just
got a
open.
perfect clip when it comes to just getting rid of negativity. Let me see if I can
Yes.
find it. Hold on.
Let's see it. Serve it up.
Serve it up. There we go.
The upper room.
Let it go. There we go. But yeah, I want to add to something what you're talking about, because like I even just like with like different besides Christ, I know like I'm a huge connoisseur when it comes to with like mythology, especially like with Greek mythology, Egyptian
Yeah.
mythology, and I've seen shows and even just read books about how like people who are in the spiritual past do certain rituals when it comes to with healing for just like making their relationships more powerful when it comes to if they're a couple, or even just like with plants and with dance and with creativity, because it's like
Drumming.
you can really connect with God in so many ways besides just reading the Bible, which is, I'm not trying to put the Bible down, which is like, if you love the scripture, if you really just value the scripture from its purest kind of like intentions when it comes to with spreading that message of unconditional love for people and with common sense, that's beautiful. And but like also too at the same time, because like people are from around the world are different in so many ways, like with our people, it's beautiful that with like women love to express their spirituality and healing with dance and herbs. That's the most coolest shit ever, and even just like also too when it comes to even like with cooking or with just like other stuff too, even especially nowadays too, like there's so many ways that we can really just heal, but also too at the same time just practicing common sense when it comes to just really learning from our mistakes.
Common
Seriously,
sense.
it's
Yeah.
just
Common sense.
it's common sense, even though it's like common sense is not common no more. It's just like in a ways it's just like being respectful towards yourself and respectful towards your neighbor, your family, really just protecting your children and from other unharmful intentions from other people or certain situations. And even just like with things between with adults, just like when it comes to if you're like a straight couple, if you're a black man or a black woman or white woman or a black man, whoever, when it comes to with adults, if they want to just like find ways for them to really just heal when it comes to their relationships by just, with their sexuality or with just like with cooking or with herbs, that's cool. That's them. And just really doing that in the most powerful way, that's just healing for them. But also too for their families, if they have kids or if they just, or if they just want to just help their families out, it's the most beautiful thing. I know that's just me saying it too. So feel free to chime in.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like we should have always minded our own business or known how to be more understanding. And the times have changed greatly, and I know we had to have had some people back then who had the same mindset of peace and love.
Yeah, I can't be the
And
only one saying this shit.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's just being able to stand up for
got a
yourself and
perfect
for
speech.
others, because I know like for some people in certain situations, especially back in the day, I can only imagine like if the whole group is like rah 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 against something and then you're the one person that's going to say no, like your chopped liver, you're going to get killed with the person that they're going after if you disagree. So the times are different, luckily for us. It's such a blessing, and to be able to do these things is amazing. But we all have a really strong fighting chance, and now we can defend ourselves and each other, and it's just a time to really break the chains of ignorance and negativity and just become more educated about each other, and that'll bring us like global success and union if we can do that. And I know it just sounds like rainbows and ponies and I'm just one person saying this. It's like, oh, it's a fun idea, but just talking about it and getting it out there helps.
Yeah, you
You
just
know.
you just hit the nail on the head there too with education and like how you want to be educated, because our minds are very powerful. And I'm going to share some mindfulness knowledge on your ass. So if you get anyone who's listening, just have your headphones and have your drinks and snacks, because it's like when it comes to with our minds are very powerful too, and just like how we want to just learn, but also to really just like to let go also when it comes to if you have like negative thoughts or anything like that. Not saying I'm a psychiatrist. I'm just gonna stay in my lane of expertise, I call it too. It's just like finding ways to really just like, oh, okay, maybe I can just like not be so hard on myself, but also learn how to really just defend myself, or to really just, if I make a mistake, just dusting myself off and try again, and like Aaliyah said in her song, just do that. And even just like how we can really just with our minds are very influential and powerful to really just kind of like practice just really not being so hard on ourselves too. It's like we make mistakes and we have successes too, and just like really finding ways to balance that and to really just finding our equilibrium too, that balance too, when it comes to with our inner self, that peace. It can really just help us too, especially for Black men, Black women, even just like anybody in general too. So it's just like when it comes to you with mindfulness and how we can really just like, if like we make a mistake and like say like, oh, we hurt someone's feelings, or if we said something that we shouldn't, like, oh, okay, just really looking at their perspective in a really mindful way. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, and just like learn how to really just be a better person. That's just like
Yeah.
just doing that. And it could be the most challenging if you're not used to that, but also the most liberating, because it's like, oh, maybe I just if it just hits you in a certain ways, it'll probably change your perspective to where you want to just heal and grow in a powerful way to be a better person. So yeah, it's like especially with mindfulness too, and because like people out there too, and human nature especially, because like I'm a Black man, and I know Black men get some flack sometimes. We're amazing people, but at the same time, he could be our own worst enemy. I know people probably say I'm Uncle Tom saying that shit, but it's true, because like nowadays, especially, it's just like there are Black men talking the most crap about Black women on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, but at the same time, they'll go out of their way when it comes to going to another country like Colombia, Brazil, Europe, Italy, to be with the different kind of women that they're complaining about. And it's just like, huh? It's like, I don't know, make no motherfucking sense. It's like, man, it's like, oh, I'm gonna play a clip again too. I'll probably be like this.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
You get it?
I
It's
love
just like
that Jim
it don't
Kelly. Yeah.
it don't make no sense. It's just like, why are you bashing against your own women, and you're just going connecting with other women from different cultures that you're complaining about? You're just contradicting yourself too. It's like, what the heck? But at the same time, not all Black men are like that, because
Right.
they're different. It's just like
Mhm.
the ones that do that. It's just like contradictory. You just want to explain about sharing knowledge and all that, but you're putting people down, and you're just like you saying one thing, then you practice what you're against. It's like you're just
Yeah.
really confusing people. It's like, what the fuck,
I don't know if that's like a thing where like maybe depending on where you live, you have more of a choice to do something, so you have more
Yeah,
to choose from, or if it's. I honestly do believe with us with our DNA and with what happened with the slaves and everything like that. I
yeah,
feel like since we were turned, we've been like put up against each other since they got us and we got here. I don't think that when we were in our own land and we had issues with different tribes or different things with each other we cared about. I could be wrong, but I don't think we were racist towards each other for if we were blacker than the other one or not. And obviously that's who they had over there, so they loved each other. But when we got over here and we were divided and it became which Negro was the biggest, the blackest, or the light skinned ones get to do housework, or
yeah.
you're
The
light
colors and
skinned, so
what.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when that started happening, and then the women were being used and abused. So I, I think there's like a pain in our DNA that we might not even realize. I feel like there's like a pain in our genetics, like a hurt that's just been beaten into the DNA for the Black man and even the Black woman who doesn't want to be with the Black man.
Yeah,
Society has taken a hold of us and really done some nasty things to the Black, and I think it shows. So,
mm,
and again, a lot of hurtful things. I can only imagine being a Black woman before we got here, being so smart and so capable and having different ranks of whatever you were over there, then coming here and being stripped of everything. You could no longer protect your woman. Your woman is taken, and whatever's happening to her, you have no control over. So the woman loses confidence in the man, and then the man feels useless. So, like I said, I think there's a deep hurt in our DNA. That's just what I believe. Not saying that's an excuse, but I think that happens. And again, there's like issues in society, as you know, with our people being in the ghettos or the projects and not really being in the same situations, or maybe, things, just society and like circumstances, I feel like is what causes it. Now we know there's other races, ethnicities who they will only go with their person. Their elders only accept them to go with their own race, and they don't have a problem with it. That's what they like. So
Yeah.
again, I feel like that what happened is in beaten in it's really in our bloodline, I feel like, and I could be wrong, that's just my opinion. And then again, it also comes to choice. If you're a black man in the South and you know you're going to stay in the South and there's other black women around, that's who you're going to end up with. Maybe you're out here in California and you're a black man and you have a variety of women to go with that are accepting of you. You have more choices. I don't know which one it is, but it's sad. The disrespect of any woman is sad, but
Yeah.
the disrespect when you see maybe black women are less desirable, if that's what you're saying to the black man, like, it is sad to see, because you would think you would be comfortable with your own kind, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's tough. Things, like I said, things have changed, and things have just changed, and they're changing for the better. So I hope that that is something that changes for the better too. And again, we all have our own taste, what we like and what we don't like. Some black men may just not, that's not their type.
Yeah.
We have different things we like and we don't like. So many factors there's many factors to it that, so that's
Yeah.
what I think about that one.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Because like even now, in these times, like people, especially black women and black men, and even just men and women in general, saying that, metaphorically and all that, it's just like we have so many options, especially when it comes to with like in the dating pool too, and even just like a certain relationship dynamics as well. But at the same time, it's just like, when it comes to like with black women, because like black women are the most beautiful and fierce women on the planet, just from my opinion too, just raising from a strong black family.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm not gonna go out of my way to just diss black women just because I have one bad experience. Like fuck that shit. I ain't gonna do that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like no way in hell I'm not gonna do that and just like put someone down like that. And same
Right.
goes with a white woman too. I know I met some weird ass white women. No offense, white women, but I'm just gonna keep it real. And people know this already too. I was talking about this on my channel a lot. It's just like I met some really questionable white women, but I met some who are cool as hell. And same goes to, if you're from Mexico, if they're from Brazil, if they're from Spain, if they're from Japan, China, Australia, you name it too, or even Colombia or something too. Or so it's kind of like, yeah, it really just depends on the person's personality too. And even just like with my own gender too, not saying like I'm attracted to them, but just like as a friendship, I met some cool black men who are cool. Some black men I met who are kind of clowns. Same goes with white boys too, who are cool people, but some are clowns,
Right.
Asian, etc. too. And what's up, Michelle? Good to see you. Oh, it's okay.
Hi.
Do what you gotta do. It's okay. If you're just
No
listening,
problem. Nice to see
that's all
you.
good. Do what you gotta do and say
Yeah.
thank you to your mom, and it's so important. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's just like what you're saying, like you've come across. Honestly, I don't really think this is the thing too, is like the whole I mean, I know we're all raised differently, and then like some groups of us may be raised the same. I mean, but like we gotta just get past the racial thing.
Yeah, that makes
It's
me
like
happy. Oh,
I
yeah.
love I love knowing my own history, and I've studied on Black history and Native history and different things like that. But we have to keep moving forward too. So I hope that we can get to a place where people are like not worried of like even like, oh, I have a type, I like this. Like I don't know if that even like makes sense. You could have a type, but like let's not make everything based off of like it's almost like the
Mm,
fetishizing. We don't need to like
yeah.
get like that is my point. Like you don't need to I mean, I don't know. I feel
No,
like
you're right, and I
you know
wanna
what I
talk about
mean?
that too, you
It's
know?
like if maybe if you like if you're somebody that likes I don't know someone to drop a bunch of spaghetti all over your chest. I don't know what you might be into out there, folks. Something like
Oh,
that. I
now I
don't
wanna
know.
make pasta later on. Shit, now I wanna
Yeah,
make
so you
pasta
know,
again.
like you might, you know what I'm talking about, like.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes I feel like oh, you're when you fetishize maybe just like a certain ethnic group or a certain
Mhm.
like race, it's like if that's not it's almost like they don't exist, and it's like you just like that as like a game, and you don't really care anything. Does that make sense? Like you don't. It seems like almost like you're fetishizing that, and you don't care about anything else about that person, just what they are. Oh,
Right,
like oh, you're this? Like, oh, I gotta have you. I don't care nothing else about you. That's all I like. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's like, sheesh. I don't know. So, but if anybody
No,
likes the
that makes
spaghetti,
sense,
if
and, like,
anybody,
Michelle, I just wanna highlight this too. Like, I wasn't trying to offend you, but I'm just speaking from my experience from raising from just like a strong women too. I have nothing against like white women too. I say white women almost. I'll say this when it comes to like with white women, they're the most fun, interactive people I ever met, and I say with black women, they're the most strongest and fiercest women on the planet. That's just from my experience. I'm just sharing my experience, and I don't want to offend anyone too, especially if they're, white, if they're Mexican, black, etc. And it's just like I'm just speaking from my own experience, and like when it comes to with that too, and it's just like when it comes to with women, because I love women in general, whether they're a black woman, a white woman,
right,
Mexican, Brazilian, etc. It's just like when it comes to with women, they're, I'm just gonna speak from my own experience. They're different people, just like with men too. Like when it comes to we're different as well. Like with black men are really, the most fierce and really fierce and powerful men. But sometimes too, there's some that are clowns as well, because I'm a black man and I understand a black man's nature too. So I'm not trying to like offend anybody. It's just like that's just it is what it is from my experience. I can only speak from my experience, but I'm not trying to offend, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, with white women too. It's just like, I met some who are awesome, like you, Michelle, and with other women too that I've met over the years who are, white women. But there's some that I've met, they're just straight up weird. I'm just gonna say that as well, just because they does some crazy stuff to me, just towards my mental health and physical health too. It's just like, damn, it's I can't believe she did that. But it never changed my perspective when it comes
right,
to with white women,
and
because it's like
and
that's
also
them.
much, and also Michelle, just when he said they're the most fiercest he women like that he knows. Well, it just the context we were using it in that we meant it in too was just like talking about slavery and the things that black women had to go through and what they
Right,
came
right.
out how they came out now, how they've been able to overcome. So that's sort of the context there too. And again, like I'm sad. I see your comment here too, Michelle. You're wonderful. All women are wonderful. So I'm sorry that that topic offended you.
Yeah, we weren't
Yeah.
trying to offend at all, but
No.
it's just like having these kind of conversations is important, just to really
Yeah.
getting context out there. So, like with you, Michelle, now I said this to you, you're the most funniest person and I ever met on YouTube. You just keep it real.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, it's really cool and really fun, and it's just like that doesn't hasn't changed that about you too. So it's kind of like when I'm sharing my experiences, I'm not trying to offend. I'm just sharing. It's like it's like when it comes to you with that. And I'm not trying to like push like a hateful narrative too and anything
Yeah.
like
No.
that. So
No. Yeah. That was not
yeah,
our intent. It was
yeah,
just
just to clear that up in the air.
yeah,
So,
just speaking about that too. Just like I
right.
said about what the black woman has been through and what has overcome and that she's what she's doing now. Um that's all. And
Yeah,
Jay
and
comes from
just
a
like when I
strong,
said black
fierce
women,
black woman.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying you come from a fierce, strong black mother too, so you have the utmost respect. So we
And
were
I'm
what
proud of
we
that shit too.
right, and
And that's how I
also,
express it.
and we were saying like when black men try to tear the black woman down, and she's like you said, one of the fiercest. What the black woman is just queen, and when they're being torn down by their own, you know, that's
Yeah.
what we were referring to.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what's pretty much what I was explaining to you, Michelle. It's just like I was raised by a strong black woman, and I'm very proud of it. I'm express it. I even said on other people's channels as a moderator, as a guest too, in the most different ways too. But it's just like I have nothing against white women. It's just
No,
like
yeah,
even like the ones I've met too, like you and other people too. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So it's like, you know, I have nothing against anybody. It's just like I
mhm,
just like there's weird people and there's awesome people, whether they're black, white, etc. too. So, but like from my upbringing too, it's just like I mean, when I met two of the most fiercest women on the planet were black. My mother, grandmother too. So that's why I'm proud of my heritage, basically. So
right. And we
that's
have to
pretty much what I'm
uplift
going to
each
share.
other. Yeah, we have to uplift each other too. Even walking down the street, and I know everybody's not the same, but I'm mixed. Obviously, I'm not full black. I'm mixed, but I am very proud of my heritage. Like you said, your heritage. I'm very proud of who I come from, and I'm very happy that I have the knowledge that I do on Black history, and for you as a black man to even have this platform to sit here and talk about what kind of women you like is a powerful thing to do, because there was a time when a black man wasn't even allowed to, you could be hung just for looking at a white woman or
Yeah,
something like that. And so there's a time where a woman like myself who's black but I'm fair skinned, I was used in the worst ways or had to cover my head just to let you know I was black, just so people wouldn't get confused. So there's
yeah,
times now where we have to uplift each other, coming from a history of brokenness and hate against each other. We have to uplift each other, and we've had to do that in secrecy. So now we're free and we're able to do this, and we're able to say that he's able to say that he believes that black women are the fiercest. It's just like an uplifting thing, and it's an honor. Like I said, even or when I go out places walking around, um, even when I'm able to make friends or go into a restaurant or go do things like that, when I know good and well that it was not that long ago we weren't allowed to do that, is that makes
yeah.
me feel happy to be able to make eye contact with somebody else and not be attacked, or just to, like I said, to be walking around free and I don't have to worry about it. That is a powerful thing for us. And some black folks might not even think about that. And we know that right now the Hispanics are dealing with deportation and things like that, and they're feeling that sense of insecurity, and they're scared.
Yeah.
But our people have dealt with that, and so to be able to even say that on here, you think that they're the fiercest, is just powerful, because you wouldn't have been able to you wouldn't even be on this platform. You
I
wouldn't.
know. And like even like with my experience with like certain women too, like I met some awesome Mexican women who are just the most sweetest and the most
Right.
powerful ones ever too. And same goes with white women too and Italian. And it's just like, oh man, they're really cool as hell. And it's
Yeah.
like because I grew up in a black family that they talk a lot of shit sometimes, but with me, because it's like I don't want to be that kind of hateful towards other people.
Right.
It's like if I do that, I'm no better than a racist. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's like who am I to really just talk shit? But at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be different from my grandpa and my dad too, because like I love my grandparents. I love who I am, but it's kind of like personality wise, I'm me and they're them. So it's kind of like if I like to hang out with certain people, like say like Michelle, for example, if I was hanging out with Michelle, I'll be totally down with it, or hang out with Cecily, or with whoever too, who's from like a different country or a different background too, or gender, which is cool. I was like, oh, because like when it comes to with just being comfortable with your own skin and even have these kind of conversations, sometimes it can really just be uncomfortable. But at the
Hmm.
same time too, if you're coming from a place of love and genuine acceptance and love and kindness too, it's really powerful. And so it's kind of like if you feel offended, I totally understand that, but my intention was not to offend. It's just to really just express and to really just show appreciation too. So when it comes to with that, and even just like with white women too, like because like I had like certain women who fetishize me, and I kind of like I didn't get offended, but at the same time I was like, oh, like why do you have to fetishize me? Like I just be
Right.
yourself, you don't have to put on the show or anything like that. But the ones that don't do it, that's cool. But the ones that do, I don't look at them, in a different way. But it's just like in my mind, it's like, oh, you don't have to do that, but just if you like me, if you say I'm attractive, just say it, especially as a woman. If you're white, if you're black, because I love women. In the same, sure enough, and with my kind of platform, I'm not going to put a woman down. I'm just going to, when it comes to just learning from your mistakes or just really healing, I'm just going to keep sharing that message. So hopefully that, for anyone who's listening, Michelle or anyone else too, who's a woman who's from like a different background, just let you know that I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I'll never put you down. So yeah. But there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It when it comes
No,
to
that's for
like,
that ass. So.
when it comes to religion, politics, race, those things are like touchy subjects.
Yeah, they are.
So, but yeah, and I appreciate Michelle for just in a respectful way making that comment too.
Oh,
Thank you for.
yeah.
I'm so glad she was comfortable enough to express that how she felt, and thank you, Jay, for clearing that up too.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, I get these questions most of the time too, if there's like a misunderstanding. And I've been used to that too. So it's like, clearing the air and just really getting my point across too. So when it comes to with that, it's like just clearing that message and just like, like how I view you still, Michelle, you're still the most funniest and awesome person there is. So it's kind of like when you with the pop up balloon stuff and sharing your humor and your knowledge. I love that about you. So I appreciate you for who you are, Michelle. And the same goes to anyone else too who's a follower of mine too, who's a moderator, whether they're a woman or a man, basically too. So because you guys showing that to me towards me as a person, I appreciate that. It's not forgotten. I remember it too, like an elephant, in certain ways. Even if I don't remember, but it just clicks back, it was like, oh, I remember how Ron treated me, or Michelle, or Linda, or Debbie, whoever,
Wonderful,
is
wonderful
showing me
people.
kindness. I never forget that, and I'll reciprocate that back,
Right.
So, anyways, yeah. So, oh man, what was I gonna do? Also, since to lighten up the mood, you want to see an awesome video, Melinda? I can't say Melinda. Cecily. Oh
Yes.
shit. So yeah, let's lighten the mood too. So if you guys voted for when it comes to with the Black Air Force Energy, we're gonna watch the newest episode that came out 9 days ago. So for anyone who is just voted for this, you guys are your wish is my command. I'm just saying that respectfully, like Shenron and the Dragon Ball universe. So when it comes to you with that,
I'm gonna grab a snack too, Jay. While this is happening, I'm gonna reach over and grab a snack for this.
Yeah, do it. Go ahead. And even people who are listening, just grab your snacks, grab whatever, and just if you feel comfortable just watching this or anything like that, yeah, feel free. And so, also, if you guys ever want to see the playlist too, I'm gonna make sure I share it in the chat. So there we go. There we go. So if you guys ever want to see the playlist, here it is when it comes to the Black Force Energy. And the videos alone is by Cedar the Champ. So shout out to him for just, his creativity when it comes to with the videos. He's the original creator of the videos. I'm just made a playlist just because I'm a fan of his too. So again, like, Cecily or Michelle, to anyone else too who's just watching this, feel free to share your own feelings and thoughts about what you're about to see. So this is for entertainment purposes only. And without further ado, let's lighten the mood up. So let's do this. See, let me know if you can see it here.
Bang! Oh, what a shot from Watch out!
Oh, that's a sick up. Hey, yo. Have you seen this anime before? It was new to me.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is getting hard to watch. You are tuning in with us right now. We are witnessing a live public execution.
Oh, wait. Is it still playing or is it just me? Oh, no.
I had my mic muted so that I wasn't smacking in everybody's ear. So I'm still here. I'm just letting you guys know.
No worries. I'm trying to see if it'll still play. Hold on. Oh, it's getting this kind of error here. So hold on for a second. I don't know why it's playing, but let me see. Will it do like this? What the hell? Hold on. Let me restart it. Hold on. It's not playing for some reason. Okay, let's try again.
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
There you go.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Okay. Oh.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is getting hard to watch. You are tuning in with us right now. We are witnessing a live public execution. Oh, good God almighty, somebody stop the fight!
Yeah, please stop the... Oh, was it still...
Oh, man.
Oh, man, what is it? Please don't fail me now. Let's see.
Gentlemen, this is getting hard to watch. You are tuning in with us right now. We are witnessing a live public execution. Oh, good God almighty, somebody stop the fight!
Doing the disrespectful moments. Oh my God.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you guys hear it?
After
Yeah.
2 long years, welcome back to the most disrespectful moments in anime history. Jesus, I have not done that intro in a very long time. But anyways, man, welcome back. I finally decided to say f it and revive this series from the brink of death. Because, damn, it's really been 2 years. Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about it. But anyways, on this episode, however, though, we're gonna be doing things a little different. Because this rendition is the most disrespectful moments in sports anime. Yes, sir. I'm talking basketball. 6'6" just leaping from the free throw line. Soccer. And yeah, I already know I done pissed off a bunch of European niggas saying that. It's called football. Blah, blah, blah. What the f is a calabra, nigga? And even the greatest sport of all time, golf. It is a nice, beautiful, sunny day at this round of the PGA Tour. Winds blowing at a gushing 3 miles an hour. And our first player at the tee is none other than Shaniqua Bronchitis from San Jose,
Shaniqua Bronchitis.
What?
Looks like she's found her shot and she's ready
He's
to tee
making
off.
this stuff up.
Beautiful line drive over the fairway, but the ball is dying down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Drops right in the lane. And as you can see, Shaniqua is not happy with herself. Just look at her. Even her fans are heckling her. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Hey, yo, come
Our
on,
first
man.
moment is none other than the greatest street ball team of all time, Jabberwock. So in the Kuroko universe, there is this team named Jabberwock that is made up of just straight YNs. And I'm not joking. All of these niggas are only 18 years old.
They're
And half the
18
niggas on the
years
team
older
look like
than
they're
me.
pushing 30. Like, bro, you can't tell me that
Pushing
bald
30
nigga
on
ain't
that.
Shaq. And their team leader is dead ass named Nash. This is a what-if version if Steve Nash was a YN. This motherfucker tatted up and everything. I know they gave him the pass. And he'd probably be spamming that shit. And that nigga most definitely Dennis Rodman. Straight back from North Korea after hanging with his homeboy. So Jabberwock pulled up to Japan to see if they was hooping or not. And I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for these boys. They was getting glazed straight off the plane. They just walking through the airport and niggas is like,
You couldn't look at it.
oh my God, is that LeBron?
You guys still see it?
That ain't LeBron, nigga. So the next day they get to the court.
Yeah.
And they end up playing this team named Team Starkey. And old boy with the glasses right here was already skeptical. He was like, what the fuck are they feeding these motherfuckers? They are not 18.
That's what I'm saying. They look like
So they were going to
40
have a 10-minute
Yeah.
exhibition match just to fill out some of the competition. So they tip off and Jabberwock gets the ball first. And they immediately start pushing up the court. So Nash starts putting the moves on little homie. Well, little homie gets the steal off the rip. And bro was completely shocked. He was like, what the hell? Did I just pick
crossed
Rose
the boy.
pockets that easily? So they take advantage of this
Don't
and
break
get a
the
nice
ankle,
little
man.
lay off
Ooh,
the fast
layup.
break. So
Oh,
everybody's cheering. But when little homie was running back, he looked back at Nash, and this motherfucker was just smiling. Bro knew immediately something was off. So then the next possession, Team Starkey steals it again. And they push it down the court with some good teamwork. And they pass it to they big. And bro posterizes Dennis Rodman. But if you take a look at Jabberwock, these motherfuckers are just looking so nonchalant right now. They were looking like they did not care.
Jay,
So with 4 points on the board, with 9 minutes and 20...
This is when I'll have to make my exit because it's about time for me to go for the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. I understand.
Yeah, so I will have to exit now.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for coming on too. And also, if you guys ever want to just like follow Cecily on Instagram, feel free to check out her Instagram page, which is linked in the top of the chat too for anyone who's watching this live, and for those who are watching a replay too. Her
Thank you.
Instagram will be linked in the description below too. So when it comes to with that, and sorry to cut the reaction thing short, I might finish this on Saturday too.
Yeah, finish it, please. Yeah, because we started. The thing is, everyone, in case you haven't noticed, when Jay and I get on, we can yap. We just start right. I'm sorry, guys. It's just how we are. We'll be yapping. Yeah. So that took up most of it. But no, I have to go get the little ones. So
yeah, no worries. Yeah,
I'd like to finish it up. I would definitely want to finish it up, and I want to do the pop the balloon too. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, sorry that I have to cut it short. But I appreciate you having me on here. And again, sorry for that we yap so much, folks. And but I appreciate everyone that's viewing. I appreciate you, Jay, for having me on as a guest. And
of course.
Yeah, if you all want to be friends, follow me, and then maybe we can yap too.
But like when it comes to yapping, that's basically when it comes to what the point about when it comes to with these kind of podcasts. So yapping about different topics, even if we're watching something too, which is totally the point on my podcast, of course, too. So when it comes to with that, but also again, I just really want to just honor the guests too, because you're the honored guest, and wherever you feel comfortable, you need to do something that's totally fine. But like when it comes to with the like my regular Saturday shows too. So like again, if I'll make a poll if you guys want to continue with the Black Force Energy kind of reactions or with the Pop the Balloon too. So it's kind of like just continuing where we left off, having those kind of conversations and discussions when it comes to laughing and learning along the way too, if that makes sense. So because I know Monday is kind of like one of those days. It's like we gotta get stuff done and everything else. And
right.
So yeah,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, Monday. I know Monday's like an off day, and your viewers are probably like, "What the heck's going on Monday at 12?" But again, you were accommodating me, so I had like a time where I'm off work and my kids are at school, but I had other stuff to do in the morning, and then now is that time that I gotta get going. So again, I really appreciate you for accommodating me today, even though Monday is like not the day for it. I appreciate you.
Yeah, likewise. I appreciate you too. And same goes to Michelle and Viviani, and to anyone else who's watching this live and watching a replay. Again, feel free to share your own feelings and thoughts about how you like this podcast, and especially my awesome guest Cecily too, and of course myself also too. Feel free to share your own feelings and thoughts as well. And I'm looking forward to connect with you guys on Saturday, just to really catch up with you guys too from my last live I did by myself too, helping out a friend of mine too. And she's doing all right too, just to clarify. And just like when it comes to with that too. So if you guys ever want to see the regular Saturday shows where we cut loose, talk about different topics, laughing and learning along the way, if you tune in Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, that's when I'm usually live every week. And yeah, and I'll definitely, if I have like a guest here too, if Cecily, if you ever want to come back, or Michelle, if you want to be a guest, or anyone else too who's a content creator, entertainer, educator, or anything like that when it comes to spirituality and so much more, just feel free to hit me up. And the same goes to anyone else too who wants to just connect with me and talk about different topics as well. Or if you want to just look my services too when it comes to with shamanism, life coaching, and essential oils and all that stuff too. So feel free to hit me up, especially on Instagram. YouTube, because that's mostly I'm active on it too. Because like
Yeah.
TikTok and Twitter, not so much, but Instagram and YouTube, I'm on there all the time. So
hit him up. You heard him. Hit him up. He's the man. Hit him up.
Hit him up. Yeah. So
Hit him up.
anyways, but also too, to all the people out there who are watching this, thank you guys for just listening and watching too, even at a short time as well. And again, I'm gonna play a clip. Just feel free to smash the like button. That really helps just supporting this channel too, especially being the algorithm too when it comes to with YouTube and all that as well. And even just like if you want to share this podcast with anyone else who can really just resonate when it comes to with different topics, when it comes to with relationships and everything else, or talking about entertainment, when it comes to with anime and music and all that too, feel free to share that as well. Because it's like when it comes to with communities, it's really important for all of us to really have that sense of community and to really just be ourselves, to have conversations, even if we don't see eye to eye sometimes too. It's just really important to do that as well. So like that's basically it. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturdays. Again, I thank you, Cecily, for being here. I know you gotta take care of your family. You got a whole lot of things to do too. So I'm gonna play the outro, and if you want to stay on too, Cecily, just to talk or just like with that too, I'm gonna play the outro and I'm gonna end it here too. So thank you guys for watching. Peace and many blessings. Yeah.